Um, The Boys.
No.
I'm sure you're going to take the lead for this, aren't you, Hori? I know
Yeah,
you're
sure.
a big Boys fan.
So The Boys season 3, episode 5 is out. One guy does one thing, absolutely horrific. Can't believe he did it. Never seen something like it on TV before. Honestly, shocked me to my core. But hilarious episode. Loved every second of it.
What did you think of our Seth Rogan cameo?
Oh, I mean, wouldn't be a Boys episode without a Seth Rogen cameo.
Okay, so
No, I
I'll
haven't
be
seen
honest,
a single thing yet.
I really should be writing down notes for The Boys each week because it comes out on the Friday. We record this on the Thursday night, so I've basically got like a full 7 days.
Plus
I need
2
to
episodes
try and
come out in
remember what's
between.
happened. Yeah, plus other stuff that I watch in between. So I really should remember to take notes. But I mean, I think that shows how well ingrained it gets.
Yeah.
So, end of the last episode that we spoke about, which is even more impressive because that's like a fortnight ago. Alex got killed off. And
Oh yeah, I remember that.
and Soldier Boy got released and shit like that. So now we're back in America. Huey and Butcher are wearing off Temp V. Kamiko's like bleeding out and she's getting rushed to hospital because she might die. Shit going wrong. Mother's Milk is fuming that Butcher and Huey have taken Temp V because they're supposed to be against superheroes and they're fucking trying to become them.
Right.
And Starlight is obviously shook the fuck up because one of her superpowered friends has just had his entire body caved in.
Yeah, fair.
So Starlight goes over to see Huey to find out if they managed to get the weapon that they were going to rush for that was going to kill Homelander. And she notices that Huey's arm isn't broken anymore.
Okay.
And she's like, how the fuck did that happen, bro? Fuck happened there, bro? So he admits that he used Temp V, and that he loved it, and Huey is definitely like psychologically addicted to it. Not like physically craving it, but psychologically he's like, I want this all the time.
Right.
But he promised he wouldn't do it ever again. He explained that Soldier Boy was the weapon. There wasn't actually a weapon. And that they were currently trying to come up with a plan to locate Soldier Boy and hopefully get him on their side.
Okay.
And Starlight's kind of like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck this. I'm going back to my tower because I can't even make heads or tails of this shit anymore.
That's a fair reaction.
We get to see Homelander in his first board meeting as like the CEO of Vought after getting the previous CEO locked up.
Right.
And he starts hearing people talk about financials and shit. And then like the true man-child he is. And make no mistake, while Homelander is very, very dangerous, he is simply a spoilt fucking brat. That's like his mentality. He's not a supervillain mentality. He is a spoiled child who can't be stopped.
Right.
So he's sitting here talking about people, talking about turnovers, and someone literally just makes a suggestion. It's like, we probably need to do this if we're going to be able to hit our quarterly goal, blah, 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 blah. And he takes that as a personal insult on him being the CEO for not even 24 hours. and kicks them out of the meeting.
I thought you were going to say he just kills him.
No, he doesn't. But he like kicks them out of the meeting. He's like, get the fuck out. You think I'm stupid? You think you're better than me? He's got like this inferiority complex while being... What he is he is walking, talking, I am the victim. He's going to gaslight everyone. Like, I know...
Make a great Prime Minister.
He's literally toxic masculinity wrapped in a bubble and given OP superpowers.
Oh, great.
And that is why he's and as stupid as it sounds, that's why he's such an interesting character. Because he's not trying to take over the world. He just wants everyone to love and adore him because I'm the good guy. Why isn't everyone rooting for me? I'm a great guy.
Delirious.
Yeah, literally. And that's what makes him so compelling of a character. But anyway, while that's going on, Soldier Boy has found his way back to New York.
Okay.
After being locked in ice for like 60 years. So he's walking down a New York City street seeing black people on the same sidewalk as him and gay people openly holding hands and kissing, and he's just confused as to what the fuck's going on.
Fair.
He then goes to a shop or something, and I can't remember exactly what it is he sees. It escapes me. But it triggers his new superpower, and he basically launches a small explosion out of his body by mistake and takes out like a city block and kills loads of people.
Oh.
And like the boys kind of go, ah, shit, that's him. We better go try and work out what's going on. And it then cuts to Vought Tower, where you got the Seven watching the news coverage of it. And Starlight's like, hey, we should probably, stop that guy, right, Homelander, since we're like superheroes. And Homelander then turns around, and this is the best bit of the episode, in my opinion, like single line. He then like basically recites what the woman he kicked out of the meeting for accusing him of being dumb said to Starlight. Like, we've got bigger things to worry about with the turnovers and profit margins than just one guy who accidentally blew up a building. And he doesn't have a clue what the fuck he's saying. But someone who he deemed was more intelligent than him and was insulting his intelligence said it, so he just blindly repeats it. When in reality, what he's saying is, I can't be fucked, and that guy kind of looks dangerous.
Yeah.
So then what we get is, we get an introduction of a character who a lot of people are very excited about, called The Legend.
Legend.
Who apparently is supposed to be like a Stanley parody ripoff. So like, he worked in Vought back in the 80s. And he managed the talent. He was the talent manager. So when Heroes fucked up and accidentally killed a hooker, he was the one who dealt with it.
Right. Clean up crew.
Yeah. So obviously he's got loads of memorabilia. He's always talking about the heyday. These new superheroes today don't know how to do shit. All that kind of stuff. Think of it like an old school music producer kind of guy.
Yeah, I get you.
But he has a relationship with Mother's Milk and stuff, who are obviously very anti-superhero. Because it's not that the Legend loves superheroes or respects them. He just made money off of them.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like Butcher because of something that happened in the past.
Okay.
But basically, they're like, we know Soldier Boy definitely came to see you. What did he want?
Oh.
Because they're like, when Soldier Boy went into the ice, you was still like the guy. So he's definitely going to come and find you to find out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So basically what we find out is the Legend still had Soldier Boy's costume.
Ah.
So Soldier Boy took that. But Soldier Boy was looking for his ex-girlfriend, who was part of the super team when they were at the top of their game.
Right.
So basically his girlfriend, we then cut to his girlfriend, and this is where we get our Seth Rogan cameo.
Oh, did that actually happen?
Yeah, no, there was actually a Seth Rogen cameo. The best thing is he's playing a parody of himself.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't he be?
So basically, now this is a bit of a callback to episode 2, when they go and try and talk to her to get information about what happened to Soldier Boy. But basically, she'd released a song, which you can listen to on YouTube. The full song is on YouTube.
Oh.
Basically about how apes can't cry. So we don't know how much pain they're in.
Right.
And they're in a lot of pain, Hori.
Oh.
So she's trying to raise money to help the apes.
R.I.P. Harambe.
And whoever donated the most money would get a private video chat with her.
Interesting.
The person who paid the most money was Seth Rogen.
Of course it was.
And basically what he wanted on his video chat was for her to take big ass anal beads and shove them up her ass. Bear in mind, this woman is in like her 60s.
Oh god. Seth Rogen. How far you've fallen.
She's not stripped off or anything. We don't get that far.
God.
But basically, as she's in the middle of doing that, Butcher and Huey have worked out, obviously, that Soldier Boy's going to see her through talking to the Legend.
And
they basically tie her up and use her as bait.
Fair.
Mother's Milk thinks they're going to stop him before he kills her.
Hmm.
And Starlight turns up out of the blue.
Okay.
And finds out that Huey and Butcher have once again taken Temp V.
Ah, classic.
So she is actively furious. And basically, Huey's whole argument is, I just want to save you from Homelander. He's put you in a horrible position. You're in danger. I just care about you and want to save you. Which, like, everyone kind of gets, but at the same time, she's like, I'm a fucking superhero. I don't need saving. I need you to be safe and not fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Which is also a very valid point.
Yeah.
So they're off having an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Butcher then drugs Mother's Milk.
Oh.
And basically says to Soldier Boy, hey, we've tied up your ex-girlfriend for you. Feel free to go in there and kill her, but I need you to agree that you're going to work with us. It's basically the conversation.
Right.
So then he goes in there and blows her up using his weird inbuilt explosive thing. And walks away and agrees to work. Starlight's like, what the fuck, Huey? Did you know this was Butcher's plan? And Huey's like, kinda. Please don't be mad.
But no.
We need him to kill Homelander, which is obviously what I'm trying to do because I want to save you because I'm such a good boyfriend. I'm definitely not addicted to having superpowers. Yeah, and that's kind of where that bit ends. But what the parallel story, because I've gone one story arc, there's another story arc I'll be going in, which is around Kamiko, who's obviously had the shit kicked out of her. So Kamiko's power is basically she's super strong, super fast, super agile, and she can heal from basically any wound.
Right.
But after their trip to Russia, she wasn't healing, and she was on death's door.
Right.
So she's come out of her coma, and she basically got Frenchie to give her like a printer, and she could like barely hold it, and she couldn't rip it in half or anything. She was like, "Oh my god, I think my powers are gone." She can't speak, but that's what she was signing to him. She was like, "My powers are gone. I'm not strong," and she's hated her powers since the moment she got them.
Right.
She thinks they make her a monster, and that everyone just sees her as a weapon, and she just wants to run away and be normal. Frenchie is in love with her, and a lot of stuff is mounting up around him and his past life, as well as Butcher and Huey taking V, and it's all very dangerous. And now that obviously Kamiko isn't safe herself because she doesn't have her powers anymore, he's kind of like, yeah, fuck it, let's run away, babe. Fuck it.
Yeah. Off into sunset.
So basically, they're in her hospital bed watching a musical, and we then get like the musical dance scene in her head, which was quite funny and on the internet. And obviously, it can't be planned. But the fact that this episode with this musical dance scene out of nowhere happened in the same week as the Joker 2 potentially being a musical news is fucking hilarious to me. Because obviously they've already edited this. This is planned to go up.
They don't know.
Happened to break. There's no way they could have planned it. But at the same time, it's a very boys kind of thing to take the piss out of.
Yeah.
So I thought that was brilliant that happened at the
Perfect
same time. Timing. So yeah, that's The Boys episode 5. Again, a very good episode. The story is moving. As people who are on a similar part of the internet to me will have seen, Herogasm has been trending all week. I said I'm going to avoid basically everything.
You did.
One bit of information got to me, but I kind of already knew it, and it doesn't really spoil anything. All I know is why it's called Herogasm. And basically, the whole idea is every year, Vought made up like this big bad for all the superheroes to run off and fight together as a big team up.
Right.
And in reality, all they did was rent a private island, and all the heroes just had an orgy all weekend long.
Oh, okay.
So they get a big PR boost because all the public are like, look at all our heroes saving the world together. And then all the heroes get a nice morale boost because they all get to go have a drug, alcohol, sex-fueled weekend.
Hell of a weekend.
Obviously, while this is going on, I imagine shenanigans take place that are going to be quite disturbing. But that is like the main premise of the story and like the setting for the story.
Okay.
I've also seen a set picture leaked.
Oh, God.
Of Huey's character, the actor who plays Huey in like a kimono, which is
Right.
clearly for after he's filmed his scene, standing in front of, you know, one of them fucking wooden X's that have got like the handcuffs and stuff on them.
Oh God.
Yeah. And I've also seen some of the bingo cards that people have put together for this episode.
Oh no.
And holy shit, like, I mean, it's in the press and stuff, it's been spoken about quite lightheartedly by the actors, but they also need to drum up the disgustingness of the episode. And like one of them said they were turning up to set to film their scenes for the episode, and they spoke to a camera guy who'd clearly been working on it all day, and he was just sat there and he just looked up and he gone, "I've seen some shit, man."
God, yeah, you've been a cameraman for TV and film, not cameraman for adult film.
So, as I said at the beginning, there's been lots of jokes on the internet about, oh, make sure you watch this full volume in the library with your family. Do not watch this episode with anyone you would not happily watch this episode naked with, is my rule. I think that's the safest way to go. If you would not be willing to watch TV with this person butt ass naked, do not watch the show with them. However, if you do want to watch this episode with your family and record everyone's reactions to it, you will get a lot of views on the internet.
Yeah, do a Gogglebox episode.
So, like, there are your two options. Go viral, not scar your entire family. But the internet tomorrow, I think, could be a very interesting place.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And I'm very excited to watch this episode. I've got no doubt that there will probably be moments that I go to, but that is the whole point of The Boys and this story. It's supposed to be an outrageous parody that takes it to extremes, and this is that story.
Sounds like it, anyway.
So, obviously, we're probably not filming an episode next week.
No.
I may record by myself a review of the Herogasm episode.
Fair.
Because, no offense, Story, he won't really have anything to add anyway.
Oh, I think my review of today's episode was great.
But it could be worth it. If anyone watching this is particularly desperate for me to do a review of it, let me know. If not, I might give it a miss. And just remember to take notes this time, so that when we discuss it in 2 weeks' time, I haven't completely forgotten.
Yeah. Sounds like you won't forget anyway, so.
Yeah, it does sound like it will be permanently ingrained in my brain. Either that or I'll be sitting there for the just going, yeah, so superheroes and stuff. And this brings us on to our last piece of new content for the week.